When my wife holds my heart, I feel the desert turn into a garden. The silence of endless dunes breaks, like the call of falcons soaring high. The moon bends closer to listen, and the stars lean down in respect, because the bond between man and wife, when born from pure love, is not just human, it is divine. I look into her eyes, and I see rivers that never dry, even in the heat of Arabia. Her gaze carries both storm and peace, both fire and healing water. When my chest feels heavy, when the world feels cruel, she lays her hand upon me, and suddenly the mountains bow, the oceans calm, the winds learn patience. She is not just a wife, she is the half of my soul that God wrote for me before my first breath. When she holds my heart, I no longer fear death, for I have tasted eternity in the touch of her love. When my wife holds my heart, I no longer walk alone. Her footsteps become my shadow, her silence becomes my prayer. I feel her presence, like the cool wind of dawn that sweeps across the desert, gentle, unseen, yet powerful enough to bring life to the sand. Her voice is softer than rain, yet stronger than storms. When she speaks my name, I hear it echoed in the valleys. I hear it whispered by the falcons. I hear it carried by the horses that gallop free under the sun. Her words are not just sounds, they are threads of destiny, weaving my soul into the fabric of hers. I have fought battles, ridden through endless dunes, stood tall before the storms of life. Yet the true courage I found was when I learned to surrender, to lay my heart in her gentle hands, to trust that she will guard it like the rarest pearl, like the purest treasure that no gold can measure. Her tears are rivers that I cannot bear to see. When she cries, the world loses color, the falcons grow restless, the moon hides behind clouds, and my own chest breaks with a weight heavier than mountains. For my wife's sorrow is my own ruin, and her joy is my only kingdom. When my wife holds my heart, I understand why God created love, not as a fleeting flame, but as a guiding light, a bond that grows stronger with every breath, with every trial, with every silent prayer shared between us. When my wife holds my heart, time itself pauses to listen. The sun lingers above the horizon, refusing to set, for it wishes to witness the beauty of our bond. The stars delay their rise, the sea delays its tide, because even nature knows that love of this purity is rarer than diamonds in the sand. I see her standing in silence, yet her silence is louder than 1,000 words. Her eyes speak to me, telling stories of patience, of wounds healed with tenderness, of nights where she prayed for my safe return. I hear her without sound, I answer without speech. This is the language of hearts, the sacred tongue of souls in love. Sometimes I look at her and wonder how a single human can carry so much light. Her smile is not just a smile, it is a sunrise after storms. It breaks chains of sadness, it paints hope upon the canvas of my day. Her laughter is not just a sound, it is a healing river, flowing through my weary chest, washing away the dust of battles, the scars of time, the doubts of men. I have seen palaces, I have ridden pure-blood horses, I have flown with falcons, yet nothing shines brighter than the love in her eyes. When she holds my heart, I feel rich beyond measure, not with gold, not with land, not with power, but with the treasure of being truly known, truly loved, truly safe. The desert has secrets, and one of them is this: even in endless emptiness, a single flower can bloom. My wife is that flower, growing against all odds, surviving storms, defying droughts, bringing fragrance to the barren sands of life. And I, humbled and grateful, guard her with my every breath. When my wife holds my heart, I no longer fear the storms of fate, for even when the sky darkens, her presence becomes my shelter. Her embrace is a fortress, built not of stone, but of love, patience and faith. And within that embrace, I am unshaken, for I know that no trial is greater than the strength we share. I have seen the winds tear through tents in the desert. I have seen storms bury paths beneath shifting sands, but I have also seen her smile cut through the darkest night, like the first light of dawn. And I know deep within that as long as she holds me, no darkness can claim me, no despair can chain me. Her touch is a map that guides me home. Her hands are rivers, soft yet unstoppable, carving deep within me a path that always leads to peace. When she places her palm upon my chest, my heartbeat finds its rhythm again. It is as if her soul reminds mine of the sacred harmony we were created in. When my wife holds my heart, I remember the boy I once was, the boy who ran with horses, who chased falcons into the sky, who dreamed beneath the stars. She sees that boy still, hidden behind the man, hidden beneath the crown, hidden beyond the responsibilities. She reminds me that I am more than titles, more than strength, more than power. I am a man, and I am hers. There are nights when I wake, the desert silent, the moon a witness, and I watch her sleep, the calm on her face, the rhythm of her breath, and I whisper to God my gratitude, for in this vast world, among endless paths, He chose her for me. He wrote her name beside mine, long before I could read destiny, and when I see her like this, so fragile, so perfect, I vow again and again, I will guard her heart, as she guards mine. For love is not just a word, it is a duty, a sacred covenant, a flame that must be protected, even from the winds of time. When my wife holds my heart, the world itself becomes lighter. The weight of leadership, the burden of responsibility, the countless eyes that follow me, all fade like shadows, when the sun of her love rises. For in her presence, I am not a ruler, not a poet, not a son of the desert. I am simply a man who has found his home, in the sanctuary of her arms. I look at her, and I see a reflection of patience, that strength is not loud, that love is not prideful, that beauty is not fleeting. Her eyes carry eternity, a depth that no ocean can match, a stillness that no mountain can break. When I drown in doubts, I swim in the calmness of her gaze. The falcons may soar high, the horses may run free, the desert may stretch beyond sight, but the true horizon of my soul is the smile she gives me. Her laughter is a melody that rides the desert winds, a tune that even the stars pause to hear, and when she laughs, my chest expands like the sky, my soul feels light enough to dance with the falcons. But when she weeps, my strength collapses. I would rather face 1,000 storms in the desert, 1,000 battles in the night, than watch a single tear fall from her eyes, for her pain is my wound, her sorrow my defeat. And so I live each day, not for myself, but for the light I can protect in her. When my wife holds my heart, I understand the secret of love. It is not a fleeting desire, not a fire that burns and fades. It is a sacred garden that must be watered with care, guarded with loyalty, nurtured with patience. And she, my wife, is both the garden and the rain. She is both the seed and the bloom, the prayer and the answer, the wound and the healing. Sometimes, under the wide Arabian sky, I hold her hand in silence. No words are spoken, yet 1,000 are exchanged. The desert knows our secret, yet 1,000 are exchanged. The stars have memorized our vows, and I feel that even if the whole world vanished, as long as she held my heart, I would remain complete.
When my wife holds my heart, the universe whispers differently. The stars appear closer, the moon becomes brighter, and even the restless desert winds grow calm in respect. It is as if all creation bows before the sacred bond that ties her soul to mine. I have seen warriors boast of victories. I have seen rulers speak of power. I have seen poets sing of beauty, but none of them know what I have learned in her arms. True victory is not on battlefields. True power is not in thrones. True beauty is not in fleeting faces. It is in devotion, in loyalty, in the quiet courage of love. Her presence carries me farther than any horse I have ridden. Her faith in me lifts me higher than any falcon I have released. Her prayers reach beyond the highest dunes, beyond the endless skies, to the throne of the Almighty. And I feel protected, not because of my strength, but because of her faith. When my wife holds my heart, I hear the echo of destiny itself, for I was written for her, and she was written for me, not by chance, not by luck, but by divine decree. And so I honor her, not just with words of poetry, but with the actions of my days, with the choices I make, with the loyalty I guard, like a falcon guards the nest. There are moments when silence fills our home, no words, no sound, just the beating of two hearts in harmony. And in that silence, I feel more love than 1,000 speeches could express. For love is not always spoken. Sometimes it is the way she looks at me. Sometimes it is the way she places her hand on mine. Sometimes it is the way she simply stays. When she stays, I am whole. When she smiles, I am alive. When she prays, I am safe. When she forgives, I am reborn. And when she holds my heart, I am eternal. When my wife holds my heart, I feel the weight of years dissolve. The child inside me wakes again, running wild through the desert, fearless beneath the open sky. Her love returns me to innocence I thought I lost, to purity untouched by time. She makes me new, while knowing every scar. She makes me whole, while touching every wound. The desert is vast, endless and unforgiving, but even in its silence, her voice guides me like an oasis. I have crossed dunes, where no man's footprints remain, but her memory was with me, a compass that never failed. Every horizon I chased, every storm I faced, I endured because I knew, at the end of every journey, her arms awaited me. When my wife holds my heart, I no longer fear tomorrow, for tomorrow is not a mystery. When love writes the script, even if storms rise, even if kingdoms fall, even if the desert swallows the path beneath my feet, her love will remain, unchanged, unbroken, a flame no wind can extinguish. I have watched her tend to my pain in silence, her hands steady, her eyes unwavering. She never needed grand words, her care was poetry enough, and in her patience, I learned strength deeper than swords or crowns. For it is easy to fight battles outside, but she taught me to fight the battles within. When she places her hand upon my chest, I swear even the stars pause their journey. The universe listens, the heavens bend closer, for in that single touch, exists a love older than time. It is not just mine, it is not just hers, it is the very essence of what it means to be human, to be alive, to be whole. And so I bow to her, not as a servant, not as a subject, but as a man in awe of the gift he was given. For no crown, no throne, no desert empire, is greater than the kingdom inside her embrace. When my wife holds my heart, the desert itself seems softer. The sharp edges of dunes relax, the winds lose their rage, the night sky bends lower, as if to witness our bond. For love this pure is not hidden, it glows like the moon, casting light across emptiness. I have seen wealth, I have walked through palaces, I have been offered treasures that men would sell their souls for, but none of it carries weight when she looks at me with love. Her glance, simple and true, outshines every jewel, outlasts every gold coin, outlives every empire. For wealth fades, kingdoms fall, but the love she gives me is eternal. When my wife holds my heart, I feel the mercy of God upon me, for in her love, I see a reflection of divine grace. She teaches me patience, without speaking. She teaches me humility, without preaching. She teaches me kindness, without demanding. Her being is a lesson, her love a prayer, her silence a scripture, written only for me. The falcon may soar high, but even it must rest. The horse may run fast, but even it must drink. And I, a man of the desert, a son of endurance, I find my rest only in her. Her arms are my oasis, her smile my water, her love my shade. When the sun burns merciless, there are nights when words fail me. When I look at her, and no poem is enough, no rhythm, no rhyme, no verse, no line can capture what I feel. And so I sit in silence, watching her breathe, and realize that sometimes love is not meant to be spoken, it is meant to be lived, to be held, to be guarded, as she guards my heart. When my wife holds my heart, I become more than a man, I become a soul fulfilled, a spirit complete. The desert may stretch endless, but I have already arrived. For home is not a place, not a palace, not a land. Home is the love I find in her. When my wife holds my heart, I feel time surrender. Hours lose their meaning, days become weightless, for in her presence, every moment is eternal. She does not just share my days, she carries my nights, she guards my dreams, she weaves my fears into threads of hope. I have walked beneath the stars, alone with my thoughts, yet never truly alone. For even in distance, her spirit walks beside me. I feel her prayers wrap around my chest, like a cloak of light. I feel her faith shield me from despair, and I know that no darkness can consume a man whose wife carries his soul within her own. When my wife holds my heart, I discover strength unknown, not the strength of falcons in flight, not the power of horses in charge, not the might of rulers and crowns. It is a quieter strength, an inner fire, that makes me unbreakable. Her love turns my wounds into wisdom, my scars into stories, my struggles into lessons. With her, even pain has purpose. I watch her sometimes, when she does not know, the grace of her hands, the softness of her step, the patience in her face, and I think, how does one heart hold so much light? How does one soul carry such oceans of love? And I thank God again, for gifting me what I never deserved, yet what I will guard forever. The desert has taught me to endure, to wait, to fight storms with silence, but my wife has taught me to feel, to trust, to surrender to love without fear. She is the lesson the desert could not teach me. She is the song the falcon could not sing. She is the treasure the sand could not hide. When she holds my heart, I am not just alive, I am complete.
For my soul without hers is a half-written poem, a song without music, a sky without stars. But with her the poem flows endless, the music never stops, the stars shine eternal. When my wife holds my heart, I no longer hear the noise of the world, the voices of doubt, the whispers of envy, the storms of expectations, all fade into silence. For her love is louder than fear, stronger than judgment, brighter than shadows. In her embrace, I find a kingdom greater than thrones, a crown greater than gold, a peace deeper than oceans. Her presence is a reminder that life is not measured by power or possession, but by the depth of love we dare to give, and the loyalty we dare to keep. When she looks at me, I feel seen in ways that no crowd could offer, no title could secure, no honor could guarantee. Her eyes strip me bare, not to judge, but to heal, to remind me that I am human before I am anything else. When my wife holds my heart, the desert speaks to me differently. The dunes whisper of patience, the winds hum of endurance, the falcons cry of loyalty, and I realize that nature itself reflects the love I share with her. For love is not a fleeting breeze, it is the steady wind that shapes the sand. It is not the passing rain, it is the hidden spring that keeps the desert alive. Sometimes I ask myself, what would I be without her? A traveler lost without direction, a rider without his horse, a falcon without the sky. Her love is the map, the path, the destination. Without her, I am only echoes in the desert. With her, I am a song carried by eternity. When she smiles, I see tomorrow. When she prays, I see heaven. When she forgives, I see mercy. When she holds my heart, I see myself, not the man the world expects, but the man I was meant to be. And that man, that soul, belongs only to her.
When my wife holds my heart, I remember what it means to trust. Trust is not spoken, it is lived. It is the quiet surrender of giving someone the power to break you and believing with certainty that they will protect you instead. And she, my wife, has never failed me. Her hands guard my soul as if it were the most fragile pearl in the deepest ocean. I have seen storms rise suddenly, tearing through tents, burying paths in sand, but her loyalty never shifts. It is the mountain in the desert, unchanging, unmoved, even as centuries pass. And I wonder, what have I done to deserve such a gift? What prayer of my mother, what mercy of my Lord brought her to me? When my wife holds my heart, I am reminded that love is not always loud. It is not fireworks in the sky, nor endless words in poems. Sometimes it is silence at dawn, when she places tea in my hand. Sometimes it is her waiting, though she never says she is tired. Sometimes it is her patience, when I return late, her eyes still shining with the same love that greeted me the first time I held her hand. Her love is steady, like the desert moon, sometimes hidden, but never gone, always there, always watching, always guiding tides of my soul. And when I look at her, I see not just my wife, but my anchor, my safe harbor, my eternal companion, written in the book of fate. When she laughs, my burdens fall. When she sings softly to herself, my world regains color. When she whispers my name, I feel younger, freer, as if the boy in me still runs wild with horses, under a starlit sky. Her love keeps that boy alive, keeps the man grounded, and keeps the soul whole. When my wife holds my heart, I know that even if the world changes, even if empires collapse, even if sand covers every memory of men, our love will remain, for it was not written in dust, but carved in eternity. When my wife holds my heart, I see life through a softer lens. The harshness of the world fades, the noise of ambition silences, and what remains is truth, a truth written in the simplicity of her love. She does not need palaces, she does not crave gold. Her wealth is her heart, her crown is her patience, her beauty is her soul. I watch her sometimes, as the moonlight touches her face, and I realize that no poem, no verse, no masterpiece of man could ever capture her essence. She is not art, she is the inspiration behind art. She is not a song, she is the rhythm that gives music life. She is not a dream, she is the awakening that makes dreams worth chasing. When my wife holds my heart, I am reminded of fragility, how delicate love can be, yet how strong it becomes when guarded by loyalty. Her trust in me is a mirror I cannot break. It reflects not just who I am, but who I must become, a man worthy of her faith, a soul deserving of her devotion. The desert is wide, but her love is wider. The sky is endless, but her patience is deeper. The falcon soars high, but my spirit soars higher when lifted by her smile. She is the wind beneath me, the ground beneath me,
the horizon before me, and the prayer above me. When she forgives me, I feel the mercy of God Himself. When she holds me close, I feel the safety of eternity. When she whispers softly, I hear the call of paradise. For her love is not just human, it is sacred, a gift from the Almighty, a sign that heaven exists on earth. And so I bow to her love, not in weakness, but in reverence. For a man who bows to love rises higher than a man who bows to crowns. And I, blessed beyond measure, have found my highest honor in being the man whose heart she holds. When my wife holds my heart, the weight of the crown disappears. I am no longer a ruler, no longer a name whispered in halls of power, but simply a man, a soul, a husband. She strips me of titles, and dresses me in truth. She sees not what the world sees, but what only love can see, and that is the freedom I never knew I needed. The desert winds remind me that even sand carries stories, each grain holds history, each dune whispers a secret, and so does my heart, but she is the only one who can hear its whispers. She understands my silence better than the world understands my words. She knows the language of my soul, a language unspoken, but deeply felt. When my wife holds my heart, I feel eternity stretch before me. Time slows down, moments breathe longer, and days are no longer measured by hours or minutes, but by the depth of her smile, the warmth of her presence. The world may chase the future, but I chase only her gaze, for within it, I find both today and tomorrow. Her love is not loud, yet it shakes the foundations of my soul. It is not demanding, yet it claims every part of me. It is not fleeting, for it is rooted like the desert tree, surviving storms, enduring droughts, thriving in silence. And like that tree, her love gives me shade, gives me fruit, gives me life. When I stumble, she steadies me. When I doubt, she restores me. When I fall, she lifts me. Her strength is silent, but stronger than armies. Her patience is gentle, but greater than kings. Her touch is tender, but it carries the power to rebuild a man from broken pieces. When my wife holds my heart, I see the face of destiny, not the destiny of nations, but the destiny of souls. She is my compass, my anchor, my map and my journey. The path may twist, the storms may rise, but as long as she walks beside me, I will never be lost. And so I write these words, not as a poet, not as a prince, but as a man in awe, grateful that God, in His infinite mercy, placed her hand in mine, and her heart within my heart. When my wife holds my heart, I am reminded that love is not a fleeting flame, but an eternal fire. It does not burn to destroy, it burns to purify. Her love cleanses me, removes the weight of pride, the dust of doubt, the shadow of fear. She makes me new again. Every time she whispers my name, I think of the desert nights, when the stars shine brighter than the city lights. The silence feels endless, but within that silence, her presence echoes. It is as if God placed her soul in my journey, to remind me that even in vast emptiness, there can be fullness. Even in silence, there can be song. When my wife holds my heart, I no longer chase the world. I no longer fear the noise, the critics, the storms. For her faith in me is stronger than doubt. Her prayers for me are louder than whispers. She is the shield that guards my spirit, the sword that cuts away despair. Her tears are rare, but when they fall, they carve rivers in my soul. Each tear is a jewel, a truth, a prayer in liquid form. I would rather face the fiercest storm in the desert than ever see her cry, and when I fail her, her forgiveness becomes a lesson from heaven itself. For in her mercy, I see the reflection of God's mercy. When my wife holds my heart, I am no longer two, I am one. Her breath becomes mine, her hopes become mine, her fears become mine. We are bound not by chains, but by something stronger, the invisible rope of destiny. And I know, with every rising sun, that this bond will outlive even time itself. She is not only my companion, she is my compass. She points me always towards goodness, towards faith, towards peace. And when the world feels heavy, her smile reminds me that even kings need shelter, and my shelter is her arms. When my wife holds my heart, the desert feels like home, the wind feels like song, the horizon feels like promise, and my life, though filled with duties and battles, feels complete. For what is a man, if not the guardian of the love that God entrusted to him? And my greatest duty, my greatest honor, is guarding her love, the treasure of my soul. When my wife holds my heart, the storms within me quiet down, the restless waves of thought, the burning deserts of doubt, the heavy skies of responsibility, all soften into calm. Her presence is not noise, it is harmony. Her love is not fleeting, it is eternal rhythm, steady as the heartbeat that keeps me alive. I watch her in moments of silence, when she says nothing, yet speaks everything. Her hands folded in prayer, her eyes closed in devotion, and I realize
This is the woman who prays for me, even when I do not ask. This is the soul who guards me with her faith, whose whispers reach the heavens before mine ever do. And I am humbled, for her faith is my fortress. When my wife holds my heart, I see no throne greater. For what is power without peace? What is wealth without warmth? What is legacy without love? She is the legacy I wish to leave. For through her, my life has meaning. Through her, my story is written in gold, not in books, but in the unseen scrolls of eternity. The desert teaches me patience, but she teaches me love. The falcon teaches me freedom, but she teaches me loyalty. The sea teaches me depth, but she teaches me devotion. Every lesson of nature finds its reflection in her. She is not just beside me, she is within me. And when the world questions who I am, the answer is simple. I am the man she loves, the man she believes in. Her laughter is my sunrise, her silence is my night sky, her touch is my shelter, her tears are my storms, and her love, her endless patient love, is the oasis where I rest, the spring that keeps me alive. When my wife holds my heart, I know what it means to live, not to exist, not to survive, but to truly live, to wake with purpose, to walk with strength, to breathe with gratitude. And if I am remembered, long after my shadow fades, let it not be as a ruler, not as a poet, not as a name carved in stone, but as the man whose heart belonged to the woman who loved him.